All right, so we have our top 10.
Okay, so yeah, I think that I'm happy with that as a top 10. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Schaefer, Misa, Daneway, Martone, Hagens, Frondell, O'Brien, Mertka, Smith, and Eklund. Now, this, I think, honestly, is where it starts to get really interesting. And, you know, the top 10's a top 10. And after this, there's a lot of personal preference that goes into it, because there's a good cluster here of players that are all, I think, in the same tier. So, I mean, we don't want to take it too seriously, and we like to keep things light around here. So I think it's a good time for a Busch Light, the beer of the puck bunker. My brother Lenny taught me that move. That's a little beer in the front of your hoodie. That's a Lenny Zappia special right there. So,
Is Busch going to take us off air?
Is Busch going to take us off air for giving them a free plug? They're just happy we're still drinking this shit with all the tariffs going on.
It's at Costco.
Well, there you go. Is this
Another
American
plug.
beer or Canadian? It's got to be American beer.
It's American.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be drinking it. I don't know. I don't really care. It was in the fridge. It's nice and cold and it's getting late. If you actually want to sponsor us, Busch will take it, though. That'd be cool. You could pay us in beer.
All right. So I feel like there is a cluster of guys here. Okay. So.
Okay. I'm just going to
say
this. How do you
want to start here?
I want to start with Roger McQueen, because at this point, he's too talented to leave on the board.
He is, but like.
Or my next guy is Brady Martin.
Can I trade?
Trade what? Trade what?
Can I trade down?
Trade down from 11? We're just going to not rank 11th overall and put guys where you'd rather?
Can I trade down to 17?
Okay, so but what did we have before? Who were guys that we had this time? Hensler?
We had Hensler.
Fiddler.
We have McQueen in the top 10. Now, the reason that he has moved down is that I struck. Like, he's been hurt all year. I talked about this before. Like, his injury problems concern me. He's a big guy. Like, he's been out the whole year. It's a problem.
Okay,
it's a problem.
Right, and if he wasn't, we'd be talking about him conceivably as high as anyone. So
I do believe his skill level is probably, like, if he's there at 11, a team's taking him. I think that's feasible. So, I mean, I think that's realistic. Now let's talk about the player. There's a 6'6" centerman who can score. I question whether he can play make for others. That's my problem with him. I don't think he sees the ice that well for, at least what you would want from a first-line centerman. But again, he can score. I will reiterate that he can score.
He has some of the best, if not the best, one-on-one hands.
He has the best hands in the draft, and he can skate. Like, he's a really good skater for his size.
Okay, so we're worried about hockey sense and injuries?
Hockey sense and generally staying healthy.
Injuries is the biggest thing for me. I'm not as worried about his hockey sense as you, I think. I think he'd be just fine. But the injuries are scary. And I think, that keeps him out of the top 10 for me, because there are 10 guys who you're happy to have that just don't have those questions.
Now, if we're talking about out of a guy here, like outside the top 10 that can really jump up in the draft, it's him. If the team really likes him, I could see a team drafting him as high as 4th. Like, it's a very big possibility if they really like the upside.
Yeah, I don't see him going in the top 5.
I don't either, but I'm just saying his upside it's that high. That perception is that high. Again, we're talking about a 6'6" centerman that can skate and has unbelievable hands, and he can score. So that package doesn't exist very much. Now, I am gonna state that I have tended to not like him more than the consensus has. For the most part, all year.
You've been lower on him.
I have been lower on him than most people have.
But I think there's a big divide in talent at this point between him and the next most talented guy on the board. There's a large gap.
Yeah,
and we've punished his injury as much as we can before it's
which it also should say something that he's barely played all year and we still have him 11th and we've had him in the top 10 basically the entire year.
But I think, dude, I could see certain teams having him straight up. We're not picking him.
But I could also see another team like has a pick at like say there's teams picking at 7. Like there'll be teams calling to jump up to take him. Like I think that could also be a possibility. Like
I don't know why would you jump up to take him when you can have O'Brien, who's almost 100 points. Frondell set records points-wise in his league. Hagen just set records at U18s. Mertka, who's 6'7" defenseman, can play both sides of the ice and shut down.
He's 6'6" and he can skate.
Right. So how are you? I don't see anyone taking McQueen over those guys. Eklund, maybe.
I can see him taking over. I could see him taking over Braeden. I could.
Yeah, but
the upside's higher.
The upside's higher than anybody. He has the highest upside in the draft.
It's probably the top 3 upside. I think Misa and Schaefer is higher than him. But
yeah, okay, yeah, fair. I was gonna say Schaefer notwithstanding, maybe, but
the point is, I think also if you're picking at 11, the teams, you're probably in a spot where you're probably gonna say it. You're the freaking New York Islanders, and you probably should take a risk on a guy here.
Yeah, if you're a team that needs to inject as much high-end skill as possible, that's the pick here. Now scroll down on your list here. Let's go get Eklund out of the way. That are perfect, and maybe get McQueen out of the way too, just so we can see the next cohort because we don't always agree. I got time for Kashawn Aitcheson here. At 12.
The problem is, like, look.
Are you fine with? Do you want to talk about McQueen at all anymore? Or like,
no,
there's not much to talk about here.
There's not much to talk about. You're the highest upside of the guy here. Like it makes sense.
Okay, so we're 11. So that's our limit for him is where.
I don't think he should fall further. And the thing is too, like.
Now are we willing to take? So let's examine though him versus a guy like Martin, who is probably the safest bet in the whole draft.
Well, it's depending on who's drafted here. Like honestly, like. Again, I'll say it, if you're like the New York Islanders or a team like that, you probably should take a shot on a Roger McQueen because you don't have these high upside guys in your system. But I don't know if you're a team like the Montreal Canadiens. Again, I don't know who's picking where, but if you're like the Montreal Canadiens, if they're like the Flames pick here somewhere, like Brady Mark would fit their team quite well.
So what's your issue with like a guy like Lakovic over McQueen? They have such similar skill sets.
Lakovic's more. I hate the way Lakovic plays. I know that's a strong word, but it's personal preference. He annoys the hell out of me.
He's so talented, though, Darren.
I get it, but like I've told you before, like the big guys who are like you can't wake up and are soft annoy the hell out of me.
I know. Me too.
Like, I'll take a guy who tries hard and is a good, like, works 200-foot game. Like, I'll take that guy every day of the week on my team. We'll win games that way. He might be more skilled, but, like, again, you're playing on it that you can turn him into that.
Okay, so, like, guys, I think we're in a tier now after McQueen where, you know, Hensler, Fiddler, Martin, Zonnon, Spence, Carbonneau, Aitcheson, Lakovic, Bear, and I'm gonna add a name to that group of players.
Who are you adding?
Cole Reschny.
Yeah.
The guy is fucking sick. He's just fucking sick, and I've tried all year to hold his size against him. And I don't care anymore. He belongs very firmly inside the first round.
So we'll talk about him. I have the right hand D. The next 2 guys here.
Hensler and Fiddler.
Yes, and I have all year. Now, I am going to state this. Where do the Sens pick this year? 20 something?
21 maybe?
A lot of these outlets have Fiddler around that range. I would be ecstatic if they got him.
I would too.
Now, I also don't see these two right-hand D drop. Just strictly what we said before and you said earlier with Murka. How often is it that these right-hand D last this long? No. Especially when these other players down here, I hate to say it, or not hate to say it, but what the projection of all these guys are down here. Are these guys projected first-line guys?
Okay. I think Kashawn Aitcheson is better than Fiddler and Hensler. And whether he shoots left or right.
I don't think he's better than Fiddler.
He's 25 fucking goals this year, and he destroys everything that moves.
Yeah, and Fiddler, did you watch the under 18? Like, Fiddler looked good.
I did watch the under 18. I know he looked good.
And again, we're talking about a guy like a 6'3", 6'4" body, skates fairly well for his size, takes up half the ice, like a great rush defender. It's like you really like Murka, like you should like him too.
I do like Fiddler a lot. I don't think he's quite as elite defensively as Murka.
Do you like him better than Hensler?
Kind of. But Hensler's just such a smooth skater. Like I could see Fiddler's
younger.
Yeah. Hensler's got a higher floor than Fiddler does.
I think Fiddler's floor is pretty decent though. Like, man,
I think his floor.
And again, he's really good.
He's gonna play for sure.
He's really good against his peers. Another guy, very good against his peers. He's good at the level he plays at. Like even when I don't know. Like every time I've watched him play, he plays a solid game. You're not going to.
Does Aitcheson not? Have you ever seen him?
Aitcheson's really freaking exciting. He's just not as big as him. I don't.
But is he not better at moving the puck, shooting the puck?
I don't think he's a better defender.
He's more physical.
I don't think he's a better defender than him. Fiddler's physical.
Yes.
He doesn't blow up guys.
Aitcheson's more physical.
Aitcheson gets out of position to blow up guys, which is fine. I like it. He's a very exciting player. He's a top 20 player. I do think the right shot stuff the right shot means something.
It does.
I think that's a difference. I think the size is a difference. Like with Fiddler, and I think with Hensler, the skating is a difference between him and Aitcheson. Like there's just higher end skills with those two guys than Aitcheson. Aitcheson might be the better player now, but it might I don't know if that's how that's actually going to turn out.
And that's reasonable because he is only 6'1", and not that that's small though.
No, but he's not he's not the fleetest of foot for a defenseman. Like he's fine. I wouldn't call he's not Logan Hensler skating. Like Logan Hensler's a great skater. I think Fiddler moves very well, especially for his size. You have a little bit more room to not again, you can be a little bit of a step slower, but still be 6'4", so it helps. But he's a good skater for his size.
He's a very good skater.
And he's really good side to side. That's the other thing. We talked about that before. His side to side, his lateral movement is actually quite good. So I really like him projectable as an NHL defenseman. He'll be an insulator, but it'll work. He's the guy that actually, to me, seems more like a Mark thought.
Fiddler?
Yeah.
Pretty good fucking player.
But that's kind of what you're looking at here, right? And again, NHL family, he knows what's going on here. I'm higher on him than other guys, but
I am too. I've liked him all year. I really have.
I think he should be a top 15 player. I think this is again a type of player that you win with in the playoffs. If we're watching these playoff games, a lot of these big defensemen are playing and being hard to play against. So
okay, so
anyway, I like Fiddler better than Hensler and Aitcheson if we're doing that. But again, it kind of is do we like any of these forwards better than the D here?
Well, okay.
I don't like Carbonneau better than them. I don't like Lakovic. I don't like Bear strictly because of the injury. I can't.
Martin and Zonnon.
Maybe the answer is Martin. Maybe it is.
Martin or Zonnon. Because of the guys left, which forwards Spence may be right there too, but I think I like those two other guys a little
I
bit
would.
better.
I
But dude, think of the playoffs. Who's going to be good? Guys like Martin and Zonnon thrive,
I think I'd still drafting Fiddler ahead of them.
and I'm okay with that. I am.
And again, I know a lot of people. Again, I know a lot of the outlets are going to disagree with me on that. But this is literally the type of player you draft. He might take a while to develop, but when he's on your team playing in the first and second round of the playoffs, he's going to be playing and he's going to be effective.
I don't really have any counterpoint to that.
I have no and again, he plays internationally for the States. He's good. He is good for them. And I complain a lot about that U.S. team.
Oh, he was their best defenseman.
He is their best defenseman
by a lot.
So it's not even close. So, I mean, if you want to put Brady Martin 13, fine. I'll buy into the hype. The guy played excellent in the under 18s. He looked great.
13s overall is not hype. That's a great place to take that kind of guy.
I think he's a safe pick. I question what the true upside is. He's a guaranteed third line player, at worst, I think. And a really good one. So he's going to work hard. He hits guys. He can shoot the puck. He has some.
What if he ends up being like a Lowry?
Great player.
Right.
He's exactly. He'll be a good player. So
sick.
You're happy with that pick
great
there.
Player.
Again, I said it before, a team like Montreal will be very happy to take him there. I mean, here's the problem. Say you're a team like the Flames. Is that a guy you want to take? The Flames, you know what I mean? If you want the higher upside guy, I don't know if they take him. That's all.
My next three, I think I have pretty set over the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
In some order, Hensler, Zonnon, and Aitcheson.
So I'm going to do it like this. I think the right-hand shot D goes over them.
And why not put him over Martin too? Because there's not a whole fucking lot of difference between Martin and Zonnon.
He's a centerman that can play.
Okay, so is Zonnon not?
He could be. Actually, could be. If you project him to be a centerman, you could move him.
I like him as a winger, personally.
He proved that he could play center.
He did. He was
He proved to be quite adaptable.
He was phenomenal in the playoffs.
He was really shocker. Who could have seen that one coming?
Me, game 1 of the regular season against Gatineau.
I'm shocked that the guy who tries hard as he can every shift is good in the playoffs.
Yep. So
the thing with Zonnon is that, again,
he gets an all 4 line player.
So I yes, and I think he could be again, they're not the same player, but think of a guy like Zach Hyman, right? Mm-hmm. He plays with really good players. Mm-hmm. He plays really well with really good players. And why does he play really well with them? Goes to mucky areas to score, goes and gets pucks, just is working hard every shift. This guy's a better athlete than Zach Hyman is.
Yep.
He's more physical than him.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he play that role with some team? Imagine he got if he was playing, he could play on a first line with some superstar and just be the grinder guy. And it would work great. You go retrieve pucks, go to the tough areas to score.
Dude, I've been the biggest Bill Zonnon fan all year. 15 is not even high enough for me. I think he should.
Do you want him ahead of Martin?
I don't know.
If we think that he can play on a top 2 lines, I question if Martin actually can.
Martin just moves a little more naturally out there.
Does.
I think he's a little more instinctive of a hockey player, but I do think Zonnon is a very smart player, but I think it's because he's worked at it.
Zonnon's also bigger.
He is. He's also older. And he also played in a way better team. And when Martin played with other really good players, he was unbelievable. So, the U18 I would say going into the U18, I would have Zonnon ahead. It's tough to replicate that experience and that stage that Martin had the opportunity to perform at. I might have Martin ahead. I would maybe go Martin, Zonnon, Hensler. And if you don't put Aitcheson next, I'm going to have a shit fit.
Fine.
What? Other than him being 6'1" instead of 6'3", what do you have against him? Because you bitch nonstop about Jackson Smith, and this guy's twice the hockey player right now, and he's 6 spots lower because of 2 inches.
It's the physical makeup of the player. Like you see, there's more upside with Jackson Smith.
There is a lot more upside, but Aitcheson has way less holes in his game, and you know what you're getting every single fucking shift.
Well, also Jackson Smith, he's an excellent rush defender.
He is.
So like,
so is Aitcheson.
He's not as good. Aitcheson isn't as good as Jackson Smith.
No, he's not. But he's better in zone.
He is better in zone. But again,
look, I like Jackson Smith. I'm not trying to show. I'm just saying, like,
you've also said this to me. Like, when is a guy who's 6'1"? Like, how many 6'1" guys are actually top pair D? So do you think he's a top pair defenseman?
No, but I think he's probably the elite second pair defenseman.
Okay, but do you think the upside with him is that he could possibly be a first pair defenseman? Whereas, like, I think
he'd be in your top 3.
Okay, I do think Hensler could be a top pair defenseman. Like, again, do I think it's likely he is? Maybe not. But the way he skates means that he could play with some elite guy.
And I don't mind him ahead of Aitcheson.
Yeah, it's just with Aitcheson, like, I'm not sure he's a top pair guy, or at least that upside exists.
No, but I don't think he's any worse than a second pair guy.
Also, there's a fall. Like, maybe the fall offs here, because again, he could be a second pair D, but we think all these other guys down here also kind of have some flaws or something we're worried about. So maybe it does fit here.
Well, that's just what I mean. Like, we're looking at similar upside to a guy like Spence, right? Or Bear, for example, in terms of where he fits. I mean, I know he's defensive, but talking top 4D versus a top 6 forward.
Which of these forwards do you like best?
Cole Reschny.
Out of all these guys?
No, Malcolm Spence next. But honestly, Lakovic is probably the guy at this point.
If you want upside, it's Lakovic.
Well, I think maybe Spence and Lakovic. But Spence is frustrating as fuck too.
He's not that he's frustrated.
He doesn't show up every night.
He's just not a play driver, Rocco. Like, that's the problem.
He is, though, sometimes. When he's playing his best, the reason that Spence is frustrating is because I've seen him play. I've seen him play like a top 10 pick, but I've also seen him play like a second rounder. And I really like the player, but I think there needs to be a little more consistency there. But that said, he tends to show up when it matters.
Well, I do like Spence better than Lakovic. So, like, what do you think of Carbonneau? Are you still worried about the way he reads the game? Like again, I think the issue is that he's trying so goddamn hard to score every shift that he doesn't really know how to play the other aspects of the game. Can that be coached?
It can.
Because the tools are there to be good.
The tools are there to be excellent. The tools are there for him to be a first-line player. A lot of pucks into shin pads for my liking.
A lot of passes picked off. A lot of passes deflected.
Like
a lot of plays dying, but also a lot of goals and a lot of points.
I think for the extra 3-4 inches, I might take Lakovic. I know it frustrates you. Well, but
what about Bear then? Like, what do we think of his injury?
I don't like it. It scares the fuck out of me. He wasn't the fastest player on the ice to begin with.
So does this make him like? Are we like?
I'm
bottom of this tier now.
For me, the tier guys are McQueen and Bear because of the injuries, and that sucks. And it sucks for McQueen. It sucks even more for Bear because we love.
So how about this? Do we have any interest in that?
Can we watch some of him before we spot him?
Well, we'll talk. How about this? How about this?
Aitcheson, Smith, Lakovic.
Let's go there first.
Okay, that's what I want to do. So, Cole, the brain Reschny.
So I'm just going to state,
go ahead.
He's the complete opposite of Justin Carbonneau in terms of what his skill set is. He's not physically a big guy. He doesn't have the physical tools that Carbonneau has. He has a brain. He has the best offensive brain in the draft. That's something we did say earlier on. With the way he saw the ice, I think I compared him to Patrick Kane at one point.
I fought you on it.
He does have that ability.
He sees the ice. So he was Canada's best player by a mile.
Yeah. It was noticeable that he was their best
player. And Martin was excellent.
Yes, but it was noticeable every game that Reschny was the best player on the ice in that tournament. And he's been the best. He's the best guy on the ice in a lot of dub games in the last 2 months.
He's really turned heads here the last couple months. I think this is a guy who just has done nothing but help his draft stock. And yep, he's 5'10" and he's not the fastest guy, but you almost don't care. I think he's the smartest player on the ice most nights he steps on it. His playmaking is as good as anybody's.
He's the best playmaker in the draft.
I think he's the best playmaker in the draft?
I do. He's the best in-zone playmaker anyway.
Better than O'Brien?
Yeah. I think he's better than him.
I'll fight that a little bit.
He can shoot the puck. He keeps guys off. He can keep guys honest.
Okay, but I don't think it's necessarily because of difference in his shot. I think it's like
he shoots. Like he's just willing to shoot the puck.
Yes, he
knows
utilizes it. He'll use his shot to keep the pass open.
Yeah.
Whereas O'Brien will look to pass until he has to shoot. I think, and that's kind of a little bit of a difference for us. Reschny, if he's going to get a shooting spot, he's going to fire it.
He shoots at good positions,
and that keeps passing options open for him longer because they know they have to watch a shot too. He's really smart. He's very, very deceptive. He baits defensemen as good as anyone.
He makes the right play a lot of the time. Like a guy will try and like hop up on him and he passes it off. If they give him space, he'll shoot the puck, and he has a good enough shot where he can beat goaltenders.
Do we like him better than Spence?
No, because the thing
with size.
No, the thing with Spence that I do like his size. I think he's an NHL player. I think he's easily an NHL player. I think he's easily a third line type guy at worst. I do think he can jump up the lineup because I've seen him play with good players and he's good with them. So it's kind of the Frondell thing now. It's again lower drafts, lower in the draft here, but it's the same type of thing. I don't think he per se can drive a line in the NHL. I think he can play in all situations in the NHL. And if he plays with other good players, I think he's a really good secondary guy on the line.
I think he could be an absolute monster on the power play.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like him better than Lakovic because
actually better than Lakovic.
No, I like Spence better than Lakovic because I think there's safety in that pick.
Right.
It just worries me that Lakovic never really wakes up. Because even if he gets banged around, it doesn't change anything.
My problem with Lakovic is he should be 12th on this list.
He should probably be
12th.
He should probably be 10th.
Yeah. Well, no, 11th. He's not more talented than McQueen or those other guys.
He should be higher than Eklund.
Yes, he should be. He should be higher than Eklund, which just pisses me off. Yeah, but we have McQueen 11, so he would go to 10th, and Lakovic would go to 11.
Oh, whatever.
Well, semantics, but that's your thing. What about Cullen Potter? He's also good in the under 18. Now, again, the thing with Potter that I do not think he has the offensive upside of Cole Reschny. I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he has the ability to see the ice like him. However, I am going to say this about Potter. He's a better rush offensive player.
He is a better rush offensive player. I actually like Potter's game in general. I think it's good. I don't worry about his size as much because he can skate.
He's way faster.
Yes, he can skate. And he also is a very good pressure forechecker. He does a lot of good things on the ice, even in spite of scoring.
Yes.
So I actually don't have a problem with. I'm not as worried about his size as other guys.
Do you think he does more? Do you think he does more away from the puck than Reschny does?
Yes.
So he's faster. He does more away from the puck. And he's has probably a better motor, so he probably has a higher floor. So why are we not putting him ahead of Reschny?
Because he doesn't have the elite brain. He doesn't have the elite skill that Reschny. Reschny has an elite skill.
So does Potter.
Not that. No, not as high as that. I just said that he has the best. I think he has the best ozone play. I think he's the best ozone playmaker in the draft.
Yeah, I guess. I think I like Reschny better too, but it's a good debate.
Now, I will also say that Colin Potter should have been playing more for the U.S. team, but that's also another.
Okay, so why the fuck are they deploying Horcoff and Potter on their third line?
No, we're going to play Jack Murtagh, man, and we're going to lose the game.
Murtagh wasn't the problem for the Americans, dude. Stop.
He wasn't the solution.
Okay, well, he was better than the majority of the forwards on that team.
No, there's some guys I liked. I can't say the one guy's name because I have the Don Cherry problem.
Vansaghi.
Yeah, that guy.
He's really good.
Mike Keevan, he was all right. I still don't really get the McKinney hype, but nonetheless, we're getting carried away here. That's not where we are in the draft here. So are we going Lakovic 18, Reschny 19?
Are we putting Reschny ahead of Carbonneau and Bear?
I mean, you know that I'm not the biggest Carbonneau guy, but I mean, I understand why people like him.
Because if he figures it out, he's so good.
But if Reschny's hits, he's Mitch Marner. He's probably better than that, but not better than that.
Okay, whoa, okay.
It's not better than that, but that's the bit. I said that. He's again. I mentioned it before. It was like a Patrick Kane thing. He sees the ice like a guy like that.
He'll never be as soft as Mitch Marner.
Okay.
So don't make that comparison, please.
Okay. Well, I said Kane before though because Kane played in London. I saw him when he played junior, and he put up a boatload of points, but he wasn't a good skater.
He doesn't have Kane's hands.
No. Okay. Probably no.
No, he doesn't.
But he sees the ice like him.
Nobody has Patrick Kane's hands. He's the best.
That guy's hands are nasty.
He might have the best hands.
But he does see the ice like him.
Yes. I don't disagree
at the junior level anyway. And again, Kane wasn't exactly a fleet of foot guy.
No, but he was shiftier.
He is shifty. Well,
he could dance a lot better.
Okay, fair. I guess there is kind of a template there where a guy like this hits. It can work.
Yeah, I think your low end is like a Maselli.
It's a guy who's playing.
Charlie, whatever.
He's a player. He's a player.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but he does. Putting him over Carbonneau and Bear is fucking ballsy.
Well, I think you can put Carbonneau over him.
But I like Reschny better.
Well, then,
what do you like? I know he's 5'10", but then we watch the playoffs. Who's doing well at 5'10" this playoffs?
Well, I will say this: Cole Reschny did better in the playoffs than Carbonneau did.
Yeah, in the WHL playoffs. So who's 5'10" right now in the playoffs doing anything?
Well, I mean, it's the smaller guys are maybe not this year. It's the guys like Marchand, he's in. It's guys
he's
like
greasy though.
It's the greasy guys, which is kind of what the Potter thing is.
Braden point, but he can fly. So where's a small guy that can't skate that good?
Well, maybe Marchand. He's not in now, but before, he's a smaller guy.
Yeah. He was good enough to win a Conn Smythe. I don't think Reschny's as greasy as Marchand, though. I just worry about if playmaking is your only element that's elite.
Well, basically, he should either be here at 19 if we think that he's better than these guys, because these guys all have some flaws, or he should probably be here if you're really worried about the small playmaking portion.
I would put him ahead of Reid. Oh, Carbonneau and Bear, I guess 18, Lakovic, Spence 17, Aitcheson 16, Hensler 14. We got real scared at 14, 15, 16, 17. Just abandon upside altogether.
It's not abandoning
Or,
It's
no,
not abandoning upside. It's what we think actually wins in the playoffs.
Lakovic is his fucking 6'4" winger. That looks pretty good in the playoffs usually. They call Braeden soft too.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I've heard it. I've heard Braeden be called soft. And what did he do last night in the playoffs? Took over because he's better
Are
than
you
everybody.
really going to make me move him up?
No, I'm asking the question.
Like, do you think he would realistically be a line driving first line guy?
Don't need to be.
Well, but I think Spence can be.
But if you're on a line, if he's on a line with a guy that drives it, might be the perfect.
But if that's the
idea.
case, in my thinking, then like Aitcheson should be down here.
Where?
Because I don't think he's a first line defense. I don't think he's a first pair defenseman. Whereas you were talking about these guys could be first line guys.
Well, I don't think Spence is.
I think he can be. It would just again be as a secondary guy. He wouldn't be the line driver.
Lakovic is infinitely more upside than Spence.
So is it this?
I don't know because Spence and Aitcheson can run you through the boards, and I've never seen Lakovic hit anybody.
Okay, I'm just for my own sanity. If you don't hit guys, you're at the bottom of the tier.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we'll keep Lakovic at 18 there. Sorry, Lynden, I tried.
Sorry, and that's just an FYI to everyone listening. That will be normal from now on. If I've determined that you can't hit guys, you're automatically at the bottom of the skill tier I have you at. So sorry about that. Until you hit a guy, and then I'll move you up.
Boy said I could only have one beer on air, so just one.
Say so.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I guess it's that. Like, fine, whatever. I'll deal with it. All right, so what do we have here? McQueen 11th, Fiddler 12th, Martin 13th, Zonnon 14th, Hensler 15th, Aitcheson 16th, Spence 17th, Lakovic 18th, Carbonneau 19th, Bear 20th. Are we okay with that? Or do you want to put? Are you worried about Bear and that's where you could put Reschny's there? Because you're worried about Bear's up. Like Bear's already small, and we're worried about his scheme.
Look, I would put Bear. Unfortunately, I've got a few guys here ahead of Bear.
You're really like that. You have the Erik Karlsson thing now. Like you're worried.
Was Karlsson ever the same?
He got back to like close, but he wasn't the same.
He got back to close for 3 months, Darren. He pulled it together. He willed it together for 3 months before. He's never been the same.
No.
Even when he put up 100 points, he was not the same as before that injury.
When Matt Cook stepped over him.
Right, and Erik Karlsson had a step to lose.
He did lose a step, and he still played, but then he lost a second step.
Right, so Bear didn't necessarily at 6 foot have a step to lose.
Okay, so if we're worried about steps to lose, they both.
Like I would have Reschny ahead now. I would have Potter ahead now. I'd probably have Reid ahead now. And I'd probably have Horcoff ahead now too. And I would probably have Nesbitt ahead too.
Can we talk about my Russian friend?
In a bit. We're not there yet. Like
We're pretty close to being there.
close.
Because like
We're not there yet.
Well, because we're at the part of the draft where things start to fall here. I don't think Bear falls much further than this. Like, he shouldn't. I think Bear should probably go here.
I like him ahead of.
I think he should go after Reschny.
After watching Colin Potter.
Bear literally looks like Brandon Gallagher.
Potter's one of the fastest players out there.
He is, but he's smaller. I do like Bear in terms of his physical game.
I like Bear too. I love Carter Bear. He ripped his Achilles in half.
Sorry, Carter. I'm sorry that
Dude,
happened.
I love
him.
I would have Carter Bear. I would say this right now. Carter Bear healthy, I would have him ahead of Brady Martin.
Yeah, me too.
Okay? So it has nothing to do with me not liking. I love Carter Bear, and I feel so bad for this kid who had his season ripped away and had his draft stock shredded.
So can I say something here about Cameron Reid then?
But if it's a risk,
Yeah.
How are you if there are other guys that are similar? How would you take them? How would you take them ahead?
So
Because we don't get to talk to him about his medical like teams do, right? So that's a disadvantage that we have. We're guessing here. Maybe he's fine.
I don't think he's fine.
Then
I think his skate cut his Achilles. I don't think he's fine. Can he be fine? Yes, he's a young body, like he can recover, but it's tough. I'm gonna ask you about Cam Reid here.
Yeah.
So he is, other than Schaefer, he's the best offensive guy.
put his highlights on while we talk about him.
I saw him live, and like his edge work in zone is really good.
This is a good example of it. He's poised, eh?
Yeah, he's a really good power play guy. So again, now is he the best in zone defender? No. But again, he's younger.
He's okay. Okay, so let's talk about him here then, because he's excellent offensively. So he's undersized and not a great defender.
So he's an okay defender. I wouldn't say he's bad.
I didn't say he's bad. I said he's not great.
So
He's average.
So here's the thing I liked with him.
Is he not?
Yes, but when I watched him this year, he seemed to get better. Their team overperformed, by the way, and he was a main cog on that team. The team overperformed. He was driving a lot of the offense in that team from the back end. Now, what I liked about him, especially in the power play, he is a free zone entry every time on the power play.
Yes. Look, he's an excellent offensive player. He reads the play in the O zone extremely well, especially on the power play. He moves the puck really well.
Good edge work, like he
very good edge work, but not an elite skater. I don't think
it's solid.
It's very very good, but not elite. It's not McCarr Hughes.
No.
But it's probably better than Fox.
Yeah.
He's not big, and I do think he'll struggle to defend in the NHL.
He isn't very physical. But here's the thing with him. He's the only real offensive defenseman in this draft.
But Matthew Schaefer's pretty offensive.
Other than him. But after him, none of these guys really project to be guys that can play on the first power play unit.
Do we think he can run a first power play?
I believe that he can, yes.
What if he's Jake Gardner?
That's an NHL player.
Did you ever really want him on your team?
When he was young.
Before they found out.
Look, I'm just saying he was on a team this year that overperformed. He was playing that role as basically an offensive play driver that he did successfully. There is a lack of these type of players in this draft.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I do think he's I do think this is probably a good spot for him. I don't know if I'm taking him over Potter.
I think I am. To me, it's just it's the lack of talent at that position. There isn't much here. So if you really if you can get a potential guy who can play on your power play here, you think he can play, you're taking him here.
Okay, then why are you not taking him over Bear and Reschny then?
You could.
What about Carbonneau?
You could.
Lakovic?
I think with Lakovic, that's probably the spot where it's I think
it's too much.
I think this is the limit for him, is 19. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if a team really liked him and jumped up for him, because again, there's no they might need offensive defensemen on their team. They don't need these big rough. Again, there is a ton of big ass defensemen in this draft. There's not a ton of offensive upside.
Okay, that's fair. I might have Horcoff ahead of Potter.
Yeah, I probably would too.
But also probably not. Potter got more offensive upside, I think.
I mean, yeah.
But dude, we're watching the playoffs. Who's succeeding at 5'10"?
Well, again, small, greasy guys. I think Potter could succeed in the playoffs at that size.
Yeah, because he's probably gonna make a fucking excellent penalty kill.
Yeah, he works hard. He's like really fast.
Yeah,
and he's a solid offensive player, and he does he's a good defensive player.
I think you underrate his offense, to be honest.
I probably do, but again, I just don't know if I don't know. I don't think he's Cole Reschny in terms of seeing the ice, but I do think he brings a completely different dynamic than him. I think he's more translatable to the NHL than Reschny is.
Okay, then, but we have Reschny 4 spots higher.
Because again, he has an elite skill. He has the one elite skill that could make him a top line forward. I don't think Potter can be a top line forward. But as you just said, I think Potter can probably play in a penalty kill and play in the middle of your lineup. Plus, I like the mentality of Potter. He went to college a year early.
You just like that he went to Arizona State.
Well, it's sick. Good for him.
Darren Boyce.
But he did. He went to
party school aficionado.
But he went to a program. He went to a decent program and led them to they had a good year, and he got better as the year went on. He could have been playing for the national program. And he went to college. He made that decision a year early.
Yeah, and I like that because he's testing himself, right?
I would put him. I think I would.
Yeah, I might have him back to back though. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm fine with Bear over Reschny, eh? I don't know. I mean, Reschny over Bear, I don't know about that.
He's healthy.
I know. Fuck. Tears me up. Tears me apart doing this to Carter Bear outside of the top 20. I don't like it. No, but I also wouldn't take him ahead of these guys because he's hurt. I would take him ahead of Reid though, so I think we have him in the right spot. Top 20, Reschny at 20. That's a nice little hat tip, I think, for him.
So we're gonna go Lakovic 19, Carbonneau 19, Reschny 20, Bear 21. Sorry, Carter. Really hope you get healthy. By the way, that means the Sens might have a chance to get him. By the way,
don't think that's the right pick for the Sens.
No. Cameron Reid.
We have a lot of Carter Bear.
Cameron Reid 22nd, Cullen Potter 23. And now we're at 24.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting here.
So I've unfortunately moved Jacob Iswozniak down from under 18.
They might just take him right out of the first fucking round at this point. He was not good at all.
No, he wasn't good in that. He wasn't good. And he did look disengaged, so
he was fucking invisible.
Oh, that hurts me to say. Still like the upside, but didn't like that tournament for me.
Did not like it at all. You know what I did like though in that tournament was Braden Cootes.
Yeah, he's fine. I like him better than Kindel. What about Boumedienne?
He's a first rounder. I've been saying it for 3 months. Getting called an idiot every time I turn around. But that's fine. We'll see. He's a first rounder. What do you get? 15 points in that tournament? I know he had some blunders, but damn.
All right, so we're at 20. So we're at the fall off of this draft. By the way, we're at the fall, but we're at kind of the new tier point.
Horcoff and Nesbitt are my next two guys. But I just know what I'm getting out of Nesbitt and Horcoff. And I don't even really care what order you take him in. I'd probably have Horcoff first.
I think Horcoff is a bit well.
I think
they're kind of the same.
I think Nesbitt has more upside. I think Horcoff's a little safer.
Yeah, I think they're both fairly. Horcoff's, yeah.
Nesbitt's got a little bit better hands and tight.
Yeah,
I think Horcoff can shoot better.
And I think he can actually
and he's a little more. He'll hammer guys a little more.
Yeah.
I would go Horcoff than Nesbitt, but I like them both. I think they're both. For me, they've both established themselves firmly as first rounders here, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Brzustewicz, Cootes, Kindel, Boumedienne are probably my next four.
I mean,
I like
Brzustewicz better than Boumedienne, but
yeah, Boumedienne's bigger. He played at a higher level of competition, and he was just a superstar against his own age group.
Yeah,
but he's a lefty.
Yeah, I'd also argue Brzustewicz has been. You know what? Again, I've heard other people say, "Oh, he hasn't been." I mean, I've seen him play so many times this year, and he's been good every freaking time I've watched.
3 years not done yet, too. we can still watch him for probably 2 more rounds or 1 more round, sorry, plus the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, about 8 games. So
Did you just predict the London sweep? We're getting 4 games in the Memorial Cup, so you just said about 8 more games.
no comment. The Generals guy's gonna get mad at me.
What Generals guy?
The guy on Twitter.
That's okay.
No, I wouldn't. I don't. I think Oshawa can.
That's what Twitter's for, is getting mad at people.
Oshawa can beat them, but the only team that could have really given them a shot was Windsor if they were healthy, and they lost to Kitchener. So
Okay, well, I like Horcoff, Nesbitt. Then I would say Boumedienne and Brzustewicz, honestly.
So I'm gonna take again. I'm just gonna stick with it. I think Brzustewicz is the better player. Again, call me wrong, whatever. I just OHL bias. I think he's been underrated all year in terms of what he is.
Apparently, Boyce is just breaking his own ties now, and that's fine.
I am here. You broke your own ties with Horcoff and Nesbitt, so
Yeah, okay, fine. I
am going to say this again though with Brzustewicz. Don't be shocked when next year he has a boatload of points, being the guy leading the power play, which may happen because Dickinson is literally a guy who might go to college.
Dickinson would be crazy to go back to the OHL.
Exactly. Brzustewicz is going to be the lead guy on this team, and he's going to get a boatload of points.
Dickinson might make the Sharks.
He could make the Sharks. He's a guy that isn't really worth going back to the OHL. He needs to go play pro or play college. He needs to play with other guys.
Horcoff, Nesbitt, Brzustewicz, Boumedienne. I kind of am fine with that. Although I would probably have Boumedienne over Brzustewicz here, but we're splitting hairs, I think, a little bit. And
fine.
Ty goes to the righty, I guess.
Yeah, well, Ty always goes to the righty. That's fine. But so, I guess you go Cootes here. I think that makes sense.
Cootes and Kindel.
Who else do we got here?
Some of these guys are weeding themselves out, right? Okay, go down. Yeah, go down. Let's see. Okay, boys, 59th Jack Murtagh. Are you fucking on crack, dude? 59th. Move him up at least 20 spots.
Absolutely not.
Darren, he's not going outside of the top 50.
It's fine. I will not be drafting him.
I'm going to fire my co-host. I don't even know if I can do that, but I'm going to.
I don't like him.
No shit, you don't like him. You haven't ranked 59th overall. He's clearly a first-round talent. You have Wozniak 30th, and Murtagh was way better, both games head-to-head.
Whatever.
Okay, Darren, they played head-to-head twice, and Murtagh was way better than Wozniak both games. And we still want to put Wozniak in the first round, but you have Murtagh 59th.
Hey, I haven't said anything about Wozniak yet.
You updated your list fucking this afternoon when I was out having lunch, and
Let's talk. We're gonna talk about this.
I know we need to address the hypocrisy here because Wozniak was a dog. 2 games head-to-head against Americans. Murtagh ran him up and down the ice, and you have him 30 spots.
Did Murtagh run him up and down the ice, or was it Cullen Potter ran him up and down the ice?
Watch their shifts. Murtagh was better. Murtagh was better than Wozniak that tournament.
Well, nonetheless, I'm probably moving him out of the first round anyway, so it's all
right.
Well,
you're not having Murtagh 59th. 59th, dude. That's just like being.
We're doing our list now.
That's just being like
Rocco.
That's just like spiteful.
Rocco. It is spiteful because I don't again. I wouldn't draft him. I think he's overvalued.
Not by you. Not by you. He's not. Okay, I got Zharovsky. Okay, we got to put Kindel ahead, but then we can do Zharovsky.
Zharovsky deserves to go in the first round.
He sure does. I agree.
So here's some options here with your last 2 picks of the first round.
Do you want to talk about Zharovsky?
Sure.
Or do we just assume everyone who watches this knows how much we love him at this point?
Well, there's too much upside here to not take him in the end of the first round. It's just the guy looked unbelievable in the Russian league. Now he is the junior league, so it depends on what you see him. We didn't see him in under 18s. That's a problem.
Stinks.
Well, Is Russia really that bad at hockey?
No, but they're junior league fucking blows, and I think he piled up points against shit teams.
Okay, so who here do you want to take ahead of him?
I don't. I'm just saying that.
That's what I'm asking. But is there guys like
you would have put him 18th if I let you.
I wouldn't put him 18th.
You would have put him 21st though.
No, I would have put him like 25th. I think he's worth a pick up there more than maybe like Brzustewicz at that point. Like I think there's first line upside here.
Yeah.
There's not never playing the league downside, so there's your problem.
Well, that's why we're talking about him 30th here. I think Simon Wang's done enough in the playoffs to be back in the first round here, and I think at his size, I don't want to I'm tired of listening to everyone tell me he's no good and he's this and he's that. He came to Canada when he was 15 fucking years old, and he's made 3 level jumps since then, and he's getting better and better and better. And he's young and he's just scratching the surface.
So this is
he's going to BU. Like they're not taking shit players at BU.
No.
So
this is also a guy like I'll get a better read on here this week.
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure that you're going to that game, and I'm going to drive up to Oshawa. Hopefully, we'll see.
Some guys that I'm not considering here. You already mentioned Jack Murtagh. Again, he's not a first rounder for me. Sorry if you think that's spiteful. He's not.
I might have him 32nd.
Cameron Schmidt, I did not like his under 18 tournament. He struggles against bigger opponents. He struggles in puck battles. I think there's too many soft plays on the boards for me at that height that makes me concerned. And we've talked about playing in the playoffs in the NHL. It's only going to get harder for him at that size to play. Upside part, he can shoot the puck. Like he has the best shots. So and he is a highly skilled offensive player. I'll give him that.
Do we think he's Caulfield, Wozniak, Kettles, Psenicka? I've got some time for Peyton Kettles here.
Yeah, I just wonder if the team who's picking, like if you're picking 32nd, like is this kind of a safe pick? I guess you're the cup winner, so either you traded this pick away, probably to some other team that's their second or third pick, or you've won the cup.
Did Wozniak pick us off that bad?
Yeah, he did piss me off.
Nestor still?
I like Nestor still, but again, he's not he's.
I'll tell you what, the Swedes didn't do anything to help their causes. And I know they made the finals and like they got through, but I just like
Nestor still I think is actually I don't know, I like the way he plays.
Like Gastrin didn't do it for me.
He was not good.
Gastrin
Neither was Genberg. They both
Genberg was good. He just showed what he is.
Isn't
he's
not a whole lot there.
No, he's a grinder, but I think he's gonna play the league. Nelson didn't do it for me.
What about William Moore?
Stockselius I liked, but I don't think he was. You want to put Moore ahead of Murtagh? Why do you? Whatever.
No, I'm not. Rocco, these aren't actually rankings here. These are just guys around.
No, I know.
These are all guys we've looked at this year. Now, one guy I am going to say this. I'm going to point out one guy was not, again, same as every time I've watched him this year, Charlie Trethewey was not good in that tournament.
No, I didn't love his game.
And I don't know what I'm missing with him because not a lot, but some other people really like him.
What about Vansaghi here?
I mean, is what he is.
Yeah, I think he'll play.
I think he'll play. I think if he can, again, he works hard, hammers guys. I don't know what
There's a lot of Horcoff in his game.
I don't know what
they're not super dissimilar.
So
he's just
do you take? I just don't know what the ultimate upside here is with him.
Well, the upside.
But we're also at 32nd overall here, so Wang would be an upside pick here, where you know what, it's worth it for us to take a shot on a guy here.
Okay,
Zharovsky.
I'm very confident here that. Who the fuck were we just talking about? Vansaghi. Okay. Vansaghi and Kettles. I'm confident both of those guys are NHL players.
So I think. So I'm going to go for
I'm confident both of those.
I'm going to go for
players.
me. Kettles is going 33rd. Because I think they're going to. I think that run of right-hand D is going to happen like right here.
Kettles, Psenicka, Bitkowski.
Now I will argue that I like Kerbin Limitov, but I think he's probably going to go on this line of D in the second round here.
Do you want to leave Wozniak 32? I want Vansaghi over Wozniak. I think he really just. I don't want to have to teach a guy to compete.
But I've at least seen him compete in games
on his terms.
I have seen it.
Whereas there's on his terms.
Where I will say there's a couple guys above him that I haven't seen it from, and it's not even on their terms. They just don't do it.
Who?
Lakovic. So. Don't roll your eyes. You have the same problem with him.
Yeah, but I at least know he's way more talented than most of these guys.
I think I'm going to move him down here.
Wozniak. Okay. Well, can we get Vansaghi up here, please? Do you have an issue with that? With him?
We can move him up. That's fine.
Like, at least get him in this group of players. Like, I'll take Vansaghi over Schmidt.
What about a goalie? Like, is it like would a team take a goalie here?
Dude, at 6'6", 6'7", might be hard to pass on Kettles and Wang. It might even flip those two around, honestly. How many defensemen do we got in the first round above them? Not a lot, I don't think.
No.
Boumedienne, Brzustewicz, Reid, Aitcheson, Hensler, Fiddler, Mertka, Smith, Schaefer, 9. Kettles, Vansaghi, Wang. Those would probably be my guys.
I would.
Don't. We need to keep in mind with the NCAA guys how much better a league they play than everybody else. Vansaghi keeping up with those guys makes him a star in junior.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that he would. Like again, he would be. Actually, probably Dave Branch would have had him kicked out of the league actually for hitting guys. But
well, we gotta like that.
Like I like Vansaghi. I just so again, I guess the upside portion is that he can skate, like he gains a step. His skating stride is brutal.
I'm going to say this, and you're not going to like it. Zharovsky's not going to get picked in the first round.
I don't think he is either.
And I think that these three guys are probably.
Oh, I think you're right. I don't think
like if I had to put my money on it, those would be like I would move Zharovsky down and Vansaghi up. Those would be my bets to be first rounders.
I think you're right, but like I think Zharovsky actually deserves to be a first rounder with what he's done at the end of the year, and especially the lack of high-end talent upside.
And plus, like Russia always produces someone.
It's not like it's coming from freaking somewhere. Like it's Russia.
Funny? We haven't even mentioned Ryabkin once.
Yeah, because who's better, him or Murtagh?
Probably Murtagh.
He didn't say it. I didn't say that. You did.
But I don't think Murtagh being better than you is a bad thing. Like I don't. Murtagh's probably going to be up here too. Like he probably goes higher than these guys, Kettles and Wang and Vansaghi.
He probably goes in the 40. He's going to go on the 30s. Probably.
You don't think he's going to win in the first?
I wouldn't take him in the first.
I don't know that I would either, but
will someone take him in the first? Maybe, because they need to take a kid. Like they need to take a kid from the American team.
Why do they need to?
I don't know. Like that's the only reason I can think of for him being a first.
Darren, you didn't watch. Like there's no way you watched the same game that I watched of him. Because you wouldn't like. Yes, he makes some mistakes.
Makes some.
But he also he threw 5, 6, 7 hits in the last game I watched.
Well, that's good.
Drives the net, crashes.
He is not a good defensive player. He is not a good 200-foot player. He's very poor that way.
He's a teenage winger, dude. They're usually not.
Okay, how big is he?
How big is he?
Like 5'11"?
He's 6'1".
He's not 6'1".
185,
6'1",
6'1".
I guess. He's not huge.
He's not small.
He's not small. He's not huge.
90
What's
kilos.
the elite skill here? Is his shot?
His shot and his forecheck.
Is forecheck really that good?
It's good. It's an asset. Dude, I saw him. I've seen him 3 times at least last game.
Vansaghi.
Change the puck into the
So
corner.
here, I'm going to go here. Vansaghi, asset.
Well, Hardy fucking plays.
Potter, it's an asset. Bear, it's an asset. I would say Spence, it's an asset. Zonnon, it's an asset. Martin, it's an asset.
Spence competes selectively too.
Spence is a bigger body. Like,
You don't look I know.
like even like again, the best thing that Murtagh has is his shot. Like, it's not elite though.
I agree.
So like what? Like I'm looking for the elite skills here. in this position.
But now you have him up at 37. I can at least have time for this conversation. At 59 was just
Again, he wasn't actually at 59.
okay.
It's just
Okay, fine.
It's just literally how we were on here. Like, we just did all the guys we've looked at.
I know.
So do you want to put him above Wozniak? Fine. Wozniak's tournament sucked. He deserves to be moved down.
Terran boys pulling punches since '88. Not likely, eh?
Like Schmidt. Like,
You've limited over Frolov? Really?
no, well, that's just where we ended up here because we've moved everyone around.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Like, I would actually have time for taking Frolov like 31st or 32nd.
How about 33rd?
Sure.
He's going ahead of Zharovsky.
I have time for doing that.
Right?
Yeah, but like,
Is he? Or is he not?
I think they're
Ooh,
probably...
that's a good debate. Who would you take first between Frolov and Zharovsky? I don't know what I would do.
If it was me, you know how I would draft in these situations. I'll take the higher upside,
Okay,
like skater, then I will the goalie, and I'll just try and hit a goal later. But I do think he's the best goalie. He's the best athlete of any of the goaltenders.
I definitely agree with that. How about Pronell? He had himself a tournament.
So he's my third goalie off the board. I was right about him. Look at that.
We called that one in the summer.
I called that one a long time ago.
Psenicka. Took a while. Central figured it out. They got him up their list by the end of the year.
Now, do I think he's the athlete of Frolov? No, I don't. But I like the way he plays. He's very calm in his net. He doesn't move around like a lot of these young guys do. He's not just throwing the body around the net as some of these other guys are.
I like how our entire 30s are either massive defensemen or forwards who are pissed off at.
And Backlog Nestercell.
Yeah. You got to be Russian, lazy, or massive to be in the 30s.
I don't know how I feel about Ravensburgen versus Perdell, though. Like, I don't know what the big difference is between them, and I know Ravensburgen is going to go far ahead of him. I would be very happy to wait and just take Perdell.
Are we putting Frolov in the first ahead of Vansaghi?
I put him 33rd. So.
Okay, I think let's go through that. That's our first round for now. This could change one more time before the draft.
Here, do you want to say our list here?
Yeah, because we'll release an official. These are our meetings. We're building our base of our list, and then, we're gonna watch video. Obviously, between now and the draft.
If you haven't noticed, when we really don't like guys, we drop them a lot.
Yeah. So we'll debate this, but this is probably going to be pretty damn close to what our final list does look like. These are considered our final scouting meetings. Our year-end, the prestigious year-end scouting meetings at the Puck Bunker. All expenses paid for by the league, of course. They're really relying on our testimony here to drive viewership for the NHL draft, which they ruined by moving offline. Kashawn Aitcheson, 16, Spence 17, Lakovic 18, Carbonneau 19, Reschny 20, Bear, 21. Cameron Reid, 22. 23. Colin Potter. Will Horcoff and Jack Nesbitt at 24 and 25. Brzustewicz, 26. Boumedienne, 27. Braeden Cootes at 28. Ben Kindel at 29. Our boy Peyton Kettles, 30. And Simon Wang at 31. Two big, massive fuckers. Shane Vansaghi wraps up the third round. First round. Shane Vansaghi wraps up the first round. Shane Vansaghi wraps up the first round. You pick your edit. I think that's good through hard work and smart play. Much like
Hard work and smart play.
who wrapped up the first round last year, Darren, through hard work and smart play.
Sam O'Reilly.
Who
should have went higher, by the way. But...
Boys, I think you and I were the only two people in the hockey world that had him as a first rounder. Us and the Edmonton Oilers.
I think I had him in a first rounder like November.
I will give you credit. You're the one that told me to go look at him.
Also, he's like plus 20 in the playoffs, and they've played like 12 games. So,
do you think? Comment below. Do you think Darren Boyce has ever seen a London night he didn't like?
Yeah, there are. There's some of them.
I think Darren Boyce thinks that they could probably beat a couple NHL teams if you would ask him his honest opinion.
I don't know about that.
San Jose Sharks for slugging nights. Who you got?
The Sharks are still better than them.
Why do you have to think about it?
I didn't have to think about it. They're still better than them.
Okay. Peyton Kettles 30, Wang 31, Vansaghi 32. I like that. Kick off the third round.
Second round.
Kick off. I think we're due for. I think we need to take a quick break. Kick off the second round in the underworld. They who shall not be named. They have no Olympic team. Mother Russia.
Yeah.
Semyon Frolov and Alexander Zharovsky. Forget Ryabkin. These are the two best Russians in the draft. Do you agree with that?
Yes, they are.
And
now Frolov is. I've said this before. I think Frolov is. He should be the first goal off the board. Said it multiple times. Will he be? I don't know. He's the best athlete. He's the best body / athlete in the draft. His issue right now is he is too active in the net at the moment. But that is common with younger goalies. So think of a Yaroslav Askarov. He was very active in goal.
he's still very
He
active.
still is. But he's now in the NHL. He's now playing pro in North America and playing fairly well. There's a template here to work with that this guy could be a high-end number one starter. So I think he's worth a pick in the second round. I would be very happy. I'd be very happy to take him anywhere in the second. I think it's worth the upside pick here.
Now, would you take Zharovsky first?
You could.
I'm asking you what you would.
I would probably take the forward over the goalie. Yes. Now my reason for that is that there's some other goalies I do like that I think you're getting a little better value on. I don't think the problem is you have Zharovsky, who we've talked about at length, who has excessively high, I think he has very high offensive upside. The problem is he plays in the middle of Russia. You don't know how good the league is, and he might not come over.
So a lot of factors.
So there's some factors out here, but it's the second round, so you're very happy to take a look at. You're happier to take a shot here, right?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Like, I actually kind of like these guys at 33, 34. I think that's a great place to take a shot on some high upside here, because ultimately, if you burn a second round pick, you're not going to lose your job over it, probably. Especially if you take a guy that you think could really be something. I like the swings here.
I mean, we've been talking about it. I hammer on Mertag. You can probably take him around here too. There is a higher offensive upside player here. There's a lot of details that he needs to get better at. The other part of this, though, there are a fair number of. Well, there's a few big defensemen that can also go here.
So I think right now we're in the land of there's a couple big defensemen here to take, and there's 3 problem forwards to take.
Yeah.
And like Murtagh, Wozniak, and Schmidt are good. I think this is a great range for these 3 guys because if they hit, they're fucking sick, and they all have fatal flaws to them that could really derail them. Although I would say Murtagh has the least upside and also the least issues of the 3.
Maybe. Like, Schmidt definitely has the most
Murtagh's going to play in the league.
Schmidt has the most issues.
He's going to at least get games. He also has the most upside. They're in inverse order here.
Yeah.
Schmidt has the most upside of this group.
I'm just
maybe Wozniak does.
After what I saw in this tournament, though, like he's
such a lazy fucker.
No. Okay, I'm talking about Schmidt.
But he's not lazy, at least.
He's not lazy, but it's just I'm concerned about he's not hard enough for. It's like again, he's how small he is. Like he's small, and he has to play harder for that to work at that size. And I'm not seeing it, and that's what I'm. And again, people say, well, he battles. He kind of fake battles. He does. Like he gets into stuff after the whistle. Like when his game's on, like he's kind of shying away from contact. He doesn't love getting hit. Let's be honest.
No, I mean,
can we have this discussion? Like it's an honest discussion with him. He isn't a guy that's really looking for contact.
No, most guys who are 5'7" probably don't like getting hit.
So. I don't know. But the problem is with him, his shot is so good. It's so good. I love how you're looking through the list of everyone we've looked at.
Well, I'm scrolling down Boyce's list because like he's prone to irrational hatred. I'm just trying to make sure that we're not irrationally hating anyone here. Okay, so can I throw a name out there? And look, I don't even know if you've watched him or not.
I'm sure.
But he, I thought, was fucking fantastic against Canada. That's Boelius.